Hi, and welcome everyone. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, for a fun little card reading today. I kept getting over and over as I was meditating on this and asking, what does the collective need to hear today? The phrase, stoke your inner fire, kept coming up. So stoke your inner fire, stand in your power. And that's kind of for everybody in the world, to kind of come together and get into that energy and stoking that inner fire and standing up for each other and for the world and for humanity. That was a very strong message coming through, and it was confirmed, with the cards. So I'll put the names of the decks in the description area below. Start off with the primary cards and the spreader from the Runic Tarot, and I'm just going to kind of pan over. It does really kind of tell a story with these 7 cards. Actually, I'll just give the overview, and then I'll come in on each card closer and move over it so you can see the details. But here we have the story of in the Norse mythology of the world tree. They all have specific names. I can't remember them off, pronounce them properly without reading it off of a piece of paper. But I do know that the squirrel up here is Ratatoska, and then we've got the, kind of the world serpent down below, and the world tree in the background. So that is the 8 of Cups, but it's actually in this deck called 8 of Horns. And we'll get into what this all means. We've got this, squirrel is represented as to be kind of a bit of a troublemaker, and it delivers messages between the serpent and the eagle above, and on purpose, kind of I'm pretty sure it's on purpose, this kind of a mischief troublemaker, delivers, wrong messages on purpose to stir up trouble between the two, between the serpent and the eagle. And that was his role, right? So kind of an agitator, a troublemaker, and that's, the energy running up back and forth. So we have kind of a scenario where we've got some troubled times going on in the world. And actually, I'm going to zoom out a bit. So the 7 cards, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They came out, but they kind of came out in clusters. So I am going to read the full story across, and just rather briefly. And then they were in little groups, like 3 and 3, and then 1. So I'll tell you why that's important. But anyway, the overall story here that I'm getting is we've got this troublemaker running up and down. This is depicting kind of the world, even though I know it's 8 of Cups or 8 of Horns. I'm not going to read these tarot cards in the traditional way necessarily. So anyway, this just represents that things kind of dark times in the world, and we've got some agitation, some things stirring up in a negative way. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I hear a horn in the background, and I can't tell if it's a semi-truck or the Thor guard, which is really apropos if it is, which goes off when there's about to be lightning strikes. I hear it in the distance. Anyway, we'll find out. All right, so then we have a Page of Swords. We're going to read this as a cluster. So kind of troubled times in the world, somebody or something, an energy is agitating the world and keeping it kind of in a darker, trying to keep it down in darkness, because we're not shown the eagle at the top, which would mean things are headed in a good direction. So anyway, something's trying to keep us down or pull us down. Not going to happen though, because we've got, actually I like how we have the feminine and the masculine here. Feminine is saying she's open to new ideas of how to stop this kind of thing from going on and to break open that darkness, because in the background we have some sunny skies coming through. And then this one, the Knight of Wands, is coming in all fiery with sunshine, saying, yeah, not on my watch. We're going to brighten this thing up. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to come in and do whatever I need to do to change this situation around. And she's saying, wait, hold on a second. Let's just, a little bit of temperance, which actually this card had fallen on the floor and I didn't even realize it. So I knew the temperance card, she comes into this group. So this is a 14 or a 5, okay? And that is temperance. So I like that because she's supporting this kind of little trio that, yes, sorry, I'll come back to a card. It's kind of dark on one side, sun on the other. So she's saying, yeah, we are kind of in between darkness and light, and let's, flip-flop that then, but let's be patient, examine everything kind of a little more carefully. Let's not hastily rush in to, convert or transmute the energies. So we've got, when these two are balanced with what their roles are, that will bring about a good income and lift us up out of this darkness. So like I said, the overall phraseology that was coming to me was stoke your inner fire. So obviously this one's doing more than that. It's like almost like roasting the whole horse. It's got almost too much fire going on. she doesn't even have like a little ember to kindle. So yeah, we just need to bring these two into balance to come in and lighten up and lift this whole situation and set it aright. You know, kind of bring in the justice. That's what this sword, I know it's not the justice card, but you know, we've got this sword and this staff, and it's just like using its wand. So, you know, whether we're using our own inner magical powers or divine powers represented with that wand or staff. And then we've got the sword where we're ready to, you know, take up arms almost, really kind of metaphorically, and just, you know, pull up that sword to energetically cut any darkness or nonsense going on in the world, right? And so anyway, that's what the energies I'm getting there. And again, we had the temperance. And actually, I wasn't going to read this all at once, but I guess I'll do them in clusters and read even the dragon cards below. These are really cool cards. I didn't want to use the word cool, but yeah, opposite to like the fiery energy. But we got, this is the Dragon Path Oracle. And I'm not too familiar with these. I got to read from the book. But we got fiery energy. We also have like the sun. So this is, I'm reading that as the sun anyway, not the moon, because it's all fiery. Even though we got lightning going on, it's all about being very electrical. You know, again, pulling and drawing, even from the outside, not just stoking the inner fire, but pulling it from the outside of the ethers if we need to as well. Just charging up all that energy inside and around us. And we have, what is that number? 14 or 5. Orbron, I think that's how you say his name. Okay, and from what I remember, I did read in the book, took a little preview just to see what that was about. And yeah, I think this was all about the grounding energies, but let's read that from the book. Okay, give me a moment here. Just look at these while we're getting this together, while I'm getting this together. Give me a moment, because I've got 3 bookmarked in here because there's 3 total dragon cards. One moment. Wrong one. Oh, here we go. Okay, bear with me. Okay, here we go. And let me pull this up here, and bear with me because I don't use a tripod on purpose. So I'm trying to open the book, and sometimes the pages are stiff as I'm trying to read this with one hand over here. So here we go. Let's see what Orbron, or yeah, I think that's the only way I know how to say it, is about. So here we go. And let me steady my hand so I don't bounce this camera around for you. Okay. The message here is reconnect to your physical body, get out of your head. If Orbron, I'm trying to read this, has turned up today, it is to reassure you that you can achieve what is required. You may have to dig deep within yourself and maybe do this for the long haul, but you can and will succeed. This striking red dragon's connection is firmly, you gotta flip pages, is firmly grounded and in effect connects to our base chakra. He therefore relates to everything that makes up our physical lives and the world we create for ourselves. Orbron's message is a simple one. Nothing in this world you call home is insurmountable. Nothing is too big to deal with. Get your feet back on the ground and anchor yourself into your physical reality. Having your head in the clouds will not give you the answers you desire or require. Connect to your base chakra and reconnect to your physical body. Get out of your head and into your body. Release your ever-tumbling and swirling thoughts. When you are more grounded in this way, you will be better placed to deal with the matters that are demanding your attention. You will then be able to handle them fully and with ease, freeing you to... All right, sorry, hang on there. Freeing you to move forward. Your time is best spent tackling whatever is demanding your time. Deal with it totally, and then you will be in a position to move forward. Although Orbron is a tough-talking dragon, sometimes you need to hear it as it is. He is a great ally when you need to get a job done and deal with the here and now. Orbron finishes his message with, seek the path of least resistance. The more you tussle with a problem, the tighter the noose becomes, eventually strangling the solution. Okay, so message to ground down and live in the now. And just, take one step forward if it's a tough situation you're kind of struggling with. And you're kind of, finding it hard to grasp. And like they said, get out of your head with it, though. Maybe just take one baby step of an action. And that's enough to kind of break the spell that's swirling around in your head and keeping you stuck, right? All right, so anyway, this kind of embodies, though, I like the way the horse now and the dragon are coming toward each other. Each have the sun behind them and all the power of the lightning. So this really is showing that we ground down and, again, stoke that inner fire, stand strong, be ready to act. Not too hasty, though, but do take, be ready to take some action after maybe thinking about a little bit, but not too much. Stay out of the head and get back in the body and take some action. And if you're truly stuck, if the thoughts are kind of swirling around, kind of like this squirrel energy too, you got, like they call it the monkey mind, or some people would refer to it like squirrels running around in their head, maybe further ground down, maybe feel like, oh, I should be doing this or that. And it's usually wise just not to ever go to should have, would have, could have's. But say you got something on your schedule and you're like, oh, but I really need to do this and this, I just can't seem to do it. Well, maybe the answer is just to break free of what you think you should do and do something totally different. Like if you're inside, go outside, even if you're in a situation like a business setting, go take a break, go outside just to get fresh air, come back in and, reorganize what's going on in your mind with that fresh air and, kind of break out of that cycle, that loop in your head. Or, if you are at a kind of home setting or, don't need to be anywhere else, go outside, go touch a tree, stand there and kind of ground down and look up at the sky and kind of remap your mind, right? All right, well, anyway, for the bigger picture, it's like all of us have what we need. We just need to balance out some of those energies and consciously, with a conscious effort, put all our energies on. We're going to make a situation that seems kind of gloomy and dark, we're going to make it a right. And we have all the different kind of tools at our disposal, all of them, to combine and bring about the balance of whatever we need to make this happen. So we're going to get out of this darkness. We're going to stop this kind of rumored energy or whatever dark energies are trying to flare up trouble in our world. And we're going to come with clarity, with precision, and come in and change that up. Now, I do want to look at this card, I think. Yeah, I did want to pull. This was supposed to be one of the bonus ones at the end. It's a really pretty deck, the Magical Nordic deck, I think. Anyway, I wanted to read it at the end, but when I saw it, I saw that we have a repeat of Page of Swords. And so I pulled this up again because here she's got the sword in a different way, kind of more in a reverence kind of thing. It says vigilance. So I like the energy of this too for this overall beginning kind of setup to the story of what we're going to go on with. And as we get, I'm going to read this because this card in the book does tell a little bit, describes this scene a little bit more about the squirrel and the world tree and the serpent. And then if I can remember, well, there's also one more bookmark message that we'll read as well, because it's going to be the same message that will be kind of at the end of this whole little story. So I know it doesn't make sense the way I described it right now, but you'll see what I mean in shortly. All right, so let's read Page of Swords, because it does give some insight to the card above her. And this one is depicted so simply. I think you've got it. She is just kind of kneeling down and vigilant. She seems very much at peace. She's kind of like a cosmic vigilance, though, because those do look like northern lights happening behind her, but because everything is so much like about the stars and the, like the, flying energy and whatever, she is the one that's even like above the clouds. So it's not that her head is in the clouds like this other dragon card was talking about, get out of there. She's above that. She's like the omniscient observer looking at the game below. And she's watching it, carefully to make sure if she can help it, steer it in the right direction, she will, kind of energy. So hang on one second, I'm in the wrong book. So anyway, as I read the description, I will be focusing up on this card, though. I know it's a little dark, but because that's the story it's going to talk about. And the bonus card there is the Ten of Pentacles, so that shows the situation will turn out well. As we get into this overall story of all the cards, the 7 cards laid out. So here it's the Page of Swords. It says keywords are awareness, empowerment, determination, and ambition. And it says the Page of Swords is a card of vigilance. It appears when you need to watch what you say and to whom you say it. Hang on one second. I'm trying to read this. It's dim lighting. Oh, okay. Yeah, it says there could be a charlatan around you. Let's see. It often represents someone who, sorry, I really can't read this with the lighting. Hang on. It represents someone who appears sweet. Oh, here we go. And harmless in the outside, but may have a darker side, like the infamous Nordic squirrel Ratatoskar, who would run up and down the tree of life, stirring up trouble between the eagle at the top and the serpent at the bottom. It suggests someone may try to cause trouble between you and others. Attention to detail is also essential right now, particularly when signing documents or sending emails. Okay, sorry about that struggle. I really need to get better lighting when I read this off to the side, but it is what it is. Okay, so in this case, that does sum up. So we got the world tree, Ratatoskar, and then the serpent below, and now we know the story about that. So stirring up mischief on purpose between the eagle and the serpent, as I said earlier, but that's okay, because it shows that no matter, I'm going to again apply it to a collective world situation, because it is the world tree after all, and it's for the collective. So no matter what's going on with this mischief, we humanity are going to come in and kind of do like a cleanup on aisle one, so to speak, and make sure that we can, protect our world from such nonsense and distracting and mischievous with intent kind of not good intentions going on in the world. So we're ready, and we're going to be vigilant, and we're going to be grounded, and we're going to make sure we get that job done and see it through. All right, sorry that was a bit of struggle for me to get through that first whole little group cluster. Let's see if it flows better. So now after we've got, these three cards, we've got these energies, different energies to combine to get the job done. Then we move into another little trio that's interesting of telling a story. So we have this card in reverse, and I left it there. I think it's the Eight of Wands, and we've got the rainbow, and we've got kind of like a wisdom, like a sage or something at a book. There is some sunny golden skies with a rainbow, but it is in reverse, so I'll see if I read it from the book. I might. Then we have a group of 9 people, and a little child is born. That's the 7 of Cups, or horns in this case. And then we have 15, and of course it's the devil energy, and we've got a man below, and everything looks pretty somber. So actually, let me zoom in on this, pan in on this. So we've got a light side and a dark side to this, and this is the character of Loki represented here, trickster energy. But actually in the book they also say it can be a joy energy, so that's why they have, I guess, the flame on the one side and the kind of more shadow on the other side. Let's see what this guy is doing. Oh, he's trying to, actually it's so funny because the message kept coming in like stoke your inner fire, and it looks like he's trying to get a fire started and hasn't quite, had that first little spark yet. Okay, so you're like, oh, okay, what's he gonna do up there? Is he gonna send some rain down so the guy has no luck, or is he gonna just watch with interest and see if he can get that spark going? It kind of doesn't matter though, because I have to jump to, after this cluster comes this to kind of close things out. And so what I see is that no matter what this trickster is doing over here, we've got a bigger energy than him that's coming in, kind of with authority, and the way I'm going to read this is all of us, the collective, coming in at the end. So here in the middle, we have that, things also aren't going so well, kind of like, the first little trio, the leadoff card is like, what's going on? It's kind of dark. Things aren't seeming so good. But again, through our efforts, as a collective, we're going to come in and we're going to make things right. And we're going to do that by bringing in new energies to the situation. Whoops. And this is even devil can do all it's want, but this is God's hand coming in with the miracle of new life coming in. And to me, this even represents the star seeds and the indigo children and all of his beautiful sparks of life, kind of the Jesus consciousness that are coming in to the kids. And they're going to say no more of this stuff. They see through the garbage, they see through the evil, and they came in to be the light and to once and for all, cast off this darkness and trickster energies that we don't want in this world. We want a more collective, wants a more loving, harmonious way forward. We don't need the evil, trickster, betrayal energies. And so, we're going to focus on getting that, spark, going, regardless of what's looming overhead. We're going to stay focused and tap into making that a spark fly, become an ember, and then grow into a fire, into a raging fire, and into our inner fire. And so we don't have to worry about what this is trying to do, because in the end, the collective us are going to come in with full force. We got the sun on our side. We've got good fortune. The sun is out. And we've got the moon too, if we need to tap into the powers of the sun and the moon. Day or night, we're coming in, and we're going to make sure we bring about a better world and a brighter world. And we've got the gold coin representing that too. We've got great fortune. The world is the beginning and the end. And, this also can represent, like the God energy, that God created everything and allowed, this kind of trickster and darkness to happen as maybe an experiment on this earth, but with the understanding that in the end, no, that cannot overtake the light, and it will not, the God force will not allow that to happen. So now we come in, combine with that energy. We're all on the same page. If you want to call it the Father, Son, Holy Spirit energy, triumphant in one and triumphant, that we're going to come in, in the beginning and the end, the love is the thing that is going to win and take the day and build up the day. So actually, I need to jump around this whole reading a bit. I hope it's not too confusing. We'll get to this energy here too. As I was talking about, like the God energy, we've got the source dragon to come and confirm that. And we've got it holding this kind of infinity symbol of brightness that, beginning and the end, the source, the God spark wins, and is above all, and will come in and make sure that vision is seen through on the earth. Then below, I'm going to come back over here because, we're bringing in this, this new child like I was talking about. It's going to be all of the star seeds, or God's light is coming in the new generation, so that we can ramp up the brightness in the world, and then that we will bring about a better day. It's kind of like prophesied that all of the light will come back onto the earth and create the happy ending, so to speak, or beginning, happy beginning. And then let's read the spirit of beneath this cluster is this beautiful dragon that says freedom, number 10. And 10 is, the beginning and the end, the 1 and the 0. And let me read from the book on this one. Hang on. And I do realize this reading is a little all over the place, so I hope you can bear with me. There's just a lot of pieces and parts here that kind of... or, it's between telling the story, the energies below, and things reinforcing it. And I think they're all important to touch on, so bear with me. The freedom dragon. Here we go. Try to hold it steady. Let's do it that way. Okay. Let go and trust the process of life and the universe. Freedom frequently appears when we have been kidding ourselves about a particular situation or scenario we find ourselves in. You may be feeling overwhelmed with responsibility or trapped by circumstance, or maybe it's simply a feeling of quote-unquote disquiet and anxiety. She says, open your heart and you will see the inner truth of any situation. Don't be afraid of the truth, for it can be as liberating as it is healing. Change is the single constant in your world, and you have learned to fear that change. Let it go, for it is your gilded cage. Give yourself wings and come fly with me. You can only be truly free once you release your strong need for control. Oops, sorry about the camera. She continues, be brave, follow your inner guidance. Only you can set yourself free. Let go and trust the process of life and the universe. Take time out, free some time for you to dance, play music, get back to that yoga practice. Listen to water, catch the wind in your hair. Seek out a place of quiet solitude in nature. Sit quietly and simply be. Okay, so this is also a good message to recapture our spirit of freedom in the mix. Again, that will break us free out of any kind of darkness and, get back into the spirit of loving kindness and nurturing. And even the child, represents play, and, love that inner child as well and raise your frequencies and get into a higher vibration so that we can, kick these dark energies to the curb, so to speak, for good, right? All right, then we're going back to this kind of world energy. And what did I say? That was 21 or 3. Yeah, it's kind of like, this is the collective coming in and saying no more of this darkness. We're coming in to kick some ASS, if you know what I mean. And again, we got the Source Dragon to reinforce those energies. And then the other dragon deck below also reinforces that. Look at this glorious sun and angel and divine energies coming in. And this is the dragon called Illuminator. And this is a 24 or 6. And let's read from the book on this glorious energy here. So I like that us coming in to kind of do some cleanup here and get to the brighter energies is flanked by like a dragon on each of its side of this, depiction of like the world or God energy or all of us coming in together, spirit. And I love it because it's almost like you could put one of these golden glorious dragons on each shoulder, or, one in the front and one in the back, kind of escorting these energies through. So I really love that energy. And let's read from the book on this one. And if I can find the book, where did I put it? Hold on one second. I got the other book. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. Here we go. And apologies for the bouncy camera. Hang on one second. I'm trying to position my hand, okay? All right, here we go. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. Let me get this to again. My apologies. Got issues with the lighting on this book. I'll fix that next time. Okay. If you have picked Illuminator today, hear this message. I illuminate what can't be seen, that which is hidden within you. Your truth needs to be seen and shared. You cannot hide behind your masks forever. Your shields of false protection don't serve. Sorry, I got to return the page. Don't serve you. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. Illuminator is the first dragon I met who holds angelic as well as dragon energy, in this case from the Archangel Uriel. Illuminator appears when we are not listening and have been resisting what needs uncovering and changing within our lives. This is usually of spiritual or personal nature. Rest assured, you are now ready to deal with whatever has been lurking in the depths of your being. Whether this is spiritual awakening or a deep personal healing, it's ready to be activated. The rest of this message is this. Spiritual warriors of the earth, collectively, we can change the world, although humankind is not yet ready for us in all our might. You and others like you are preparing the way. Hang on. Anchoring the light into the planet. Are you ready to continue your amazing journey of empowerment? Illuminator invites you to see the truth in all situations. He says, do not fear this illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but open your heart and welcome it to your care, allowing the light to guide you forward. Wow, this really kind of, goes and sums up things from the first group, from the first cluster and everything else, because it brings up the themes of, don't be afraid of the truth, anchor yourself and stand up in it and let things be revealed. That was with Orbron. And then we also, didn't show, the Orbron card. And then it also talks about how liberating it is for the truth to come up. And then, we had that freedom card. So all of these are going hand in hand. And then, of course, it just reemphasizes, don't be afraid. We got to stand up, and we are bringing some serious power in to bring the light, to this earth to, again, stop the disharmony and bring back the harmony and get us out of the depths here, and instead bring us to the top of the tree, and seeing things from the big, more cosmic perspective, and yeah, with vigilance. Okay, I think there was one more. Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to. I guess I'll just go ahead and wrap this up now. And again, it might have been a little all over the place, but I hope you got the meanings out of it, of whatever you needed to hear, even if it wasn't like the little collective story part. But anyway, like I said, we ended up with the world over here. And one of the little extra cards, when I was pulling this bonus card here, the Page of Swords, happened to be the world as well with a bookmark. So I want to read that, because then that's a nice little tying together of this overall reading, that we start off with the world and we end with the world, right? Okay, so let me get it together here. So I want to put this card here and read from the book. So this is the number, 21 or 3, just like the other card was at the end. But this is a very pretty depiction, and I wanted to share that as well from this particular deck. And for the world on this card, it says motivation as a message at the end. So let me just read an excerpt of the world. And actually, this is a nice companion book if anybody's interested in this deck. I just like the way the drawings were done. It's kind of like a more like a children book illustration, but in a beautiful way. Magical Nordic Tarot. And it's a nice book because it does include also colored pictures. So I'm just reading from here. And let's look at the world. Give me a moment. Okay. It says, there were 9 worlds in the Nordic mythology, all of which were linked together by the Tree of Life, Yggdrasil. I think that's how you say it. All right, and I'm just going to read one of the little paragraphs on this. It says, the full moon, representing the world, shines lovingly in the sky. Oh, sorry. I can't read this either in this lighting. My apologies. Let me start over. It says, the full moon, representing the world, shines brightly in the sky, while the northern lights, unable to contain their excitement, dance happily around it. Silhouettes of animals, from foxes and horses. Let's see. Forgive me, guys. Hang on. Okay. Silhouettes of animals, from foxes and hares to horses, stags, and wolves, can be seen playing across its surface, while glimpses of laughing figures, symbolizing the souls of departed loved ones, cheerfully wave and celebrate from the sparkly lights. Filled with joy and happiness, the world dances in bliss and rejoices as one cycle ends and a new one begins. Okay, some key words on this card are journey, movement, change, endurance, and completion. Let's see. And one other little message on here is the world is your oyster. Okay. Again, struggles with the reading on this because of the lighting, and also the size of the print was way too small. I didn't realize I needed higher, more brighter light on this. But maybe that's a little message too, because it kind of echoes how, things were looking dark and dim at the beginning, and that we got to come and bring the light. And one more little thing to close on. I don't know what I want to focus on here. I guess I'll come over here with the fire depicted here in this card. One more little thing, we focus on, when we think about a fire and turning from darkness to light, you might think of like the phoenix and the flame kind of symbolism, metaphor, and lore behind it. But it's so funny, we always focus on the phoenix rising, but we never kind of focus on like what's going on between the ashes and the flame. And so again, I just want to bring attention to, maybe it's not so much about the phoenix with where our energies are with all of this. It's more about, we can be in the ashes, but we can also be that little ember before anything else, becomes a roaring fire. And, it's all about, we have the spirit and energies of any number of things. There's going to be times, I'm trying to find, let me find the imagery here. Yeah, there'll be times when we feel like we are in total darkness and there's no hope. And there'll be times where we are, totally lit up and on fire to go take on the world. And then, there are going to be times, where we have our strength and our weakness and everything in between. So this is just a reminder that no matter where you find yourself, whatever mood you're in or whatever emotions that you are, dealing with right here, right now. Just know that it's just temporary. Any number of these phases, we can never stay in a perpetual state of one or the other. It's just not in our nature, and it's not in universal law and universal nature. So there's always going to be change and cycles. So anyway, be gentle with yourself wherever you are. If you're just, in ashes state, or you're feeling like you're an ember, or if you're feeling like you're totally on fire, more power to you. And we're all human in nature here, so we're all going to undergo any number of these phases in life, and we just need to come together, and help each other and support each other, if not in person, in spirit. And so with that, I wish all of you tremendous peace and love, whatever you're going through or growing through right now. I wish you all the best, and leave you with the one final thing of, let's all stand in our inner power and grow that light and take on the world, okay? And in a good way, make it a better place. All right, everyone, tremendous peace and love to you. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.